Hello, I'm Dr. Gareth Moore and I'm a puzzle and brain training author, and in this video I'm going to be looking at the solutions to 3 more codes in my 404 book, in particular codes 4, 5 and 6. There's 2 different versions of it, one that was the original Kickstarter version and one very slightly modified version which I'm going to look at today, which I put on Amazon. So let's start by having a look at the book, and in particular I'm going to turn to code 4 because that's where we're going to start today. So we'll look at 3 codes, 4, 5 and 6, and we'll talk through how to solve them. So you've got some text. The city is cold and bleak, pitiless, remorseless. It's against you, a universal truth to ever underline. It's odd language, isn't it? It knows no joy, it knows no love, it knows only pain. Smiles flicker with no one to receive their message. Right, and then it says at the bottom, do we have this? We need to reflect. So, like a lot of the puzzles in this book, there's actually quite a bit going on here. But the page appears mostly empty. Maybe there's some odd dots here. And over here it says, it knows only pain. Smiles flicker with no one to receive the message. So there's something about flickering a message in, and in particular there's the word underline, and it's underlining the word Morse, more or less. So what we've got here is Morse code. Now, in particular, if you look here, you can see dot dash dot. Is that a dot? I don't know. It might be a space, so there's another one here. Dash dot dot, dot dash dot dot. Well, I don't know. And nothing on this side. Well, first of all, let's see if this is Morse code. So let's bring up some Morse code. Okay, so just open this Wikipedia page. Let's see if we can translate this. So dot dash dot is R. If that is a dot, it's an E. If this is dash dot dot dot, then it would have to be B. And it would have to be a dot, which would be E again. And if it was dot dash dot dot, then we would have an L. Ah, rebel. We've got rebel. So it is an E. So there we go. But ooh, now if you've been following along, you'll know that or you've got the book, you'll know that these 2 underlines mean we need 2 words. So if I go to the 404 website and type in just rebel, it's going to tell us we haven't got enough information. Let's just put rebel in, try submit answer. That's correct, but you're looking for 2 words. Helpful. Now, of course, at any point on the website you can get a hint, and there's a whole series of hints you can get. This starts by suggesting you look at something that's underlined. So let's think about the puzzle a bit more. We need to reflect. Well, perhaps I write it backwards. Is it like rebel leber? Does that make sense? Because the answers are supposed to be words in this book, not just guesses. But let's try that. Oh no, that's not right, but I see what you did there. So we need to reflect in some other way. Okay, so one of the ways to reflect is just to reflect the Morse code itself. So dot dot dash dot. So we're acting like the page is a mirror. Dot 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 dash dot dot dash dot. So we've actually reflected the Morse code itself. Now, what if we go back now and have a look at the Morse code? Does this help? What's dot dot dash dot? Yeah, that's an F. Okay, and we know these are E's because they won't have changed. We've got dot 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 dash. Yes, that's a V. And dot dash dot is an R. Aha. So by reflecting, we spelled out rebel fever in Morse code. So this Morse code is reflected to spell rebel fever, and I'd write that at the bottom. But for now, I can just type it in on the website. So it's not rebel leber at all, it's rebel fever. There we go. Congratulations, you've tapped into our rebel fever and cracked code 4. So go to the next code. Let's have a look at the next code. Here we go. So, this has not got much text at all, has it? We have to find the keys to their defeat. What must we do? Interesting. We have to find the keys to their defeat. We're trying to find the secret society known as the Kingdom of States. And it says QWERTY, 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 QWERTY. So we can be very confident these are QWERTY keyboards. I think these look like keyboards, in particular the space bar is a bit of a giveaway. Now, on most QWERTY keyboards there's like a tab and a caps lock and so on here, and then the letters actually start here. This would be number keys, these would be functions. So we can write on these keys what we think they are. I think this would be QWERTY, so I'm just writing that on top of here. And the next line starts A, S, D, F and so on. And the bottom line starts Z, X, C. So if we were to press these keys, we don't know what order they're in, but we'd have 2 E's, we'd have an R, and a T, and then an A. Is that right? What have I missed out? And a C. Okay. So we have probably, by looking at this picture, pressed this button twice, this button once, this once, this once, and this once, and we've got this. But we don't know what order it's in. So is that an anagram of a word? Trace with an extra E. Carty, that's not a word, is it? Yes. So if it starts with C, maybe. I think the only thing it can be an anagram of actually is create. So 6 letters. We don't know what order they're typed in, but the only word we could spell is create, so it's probably that's correct. Okay, let's try the other one. So QWER, so we've got an R, QWERTY, RY, and that's an A, 2 A's, A, S, D, F, G, what comes after G, H, and then Z, X, C, because as I say, it's a QWERTY keyboard, V, B, that's an N or an M, it's an N. And what have we got here? What could that word be? It looks like any, if we had any char, create, see, going for create first, it's create anarchy, isn't it? Which is what this book is about, really. It's kind of the underlying story. So the answer is, I think, create anarchy. And I say I think because it's a long time since I wrote this book. It's it's a few years. And I haven't done this since. Oh, we've got a message. What's it say? A disturbance is required. They have remained unchallenged for so long. Perhaps they will prove complacent. The faceless corporations hold sway. Their motives are greed and power, self-interest. We must expose them for what they are. Replace them with a better world. You are doing well. Keep going. Ends. Okay, every so often you get a little bit of story, a communication from the Kingdom of States, or whatever it is that's helping you hack them. It's not clear what's going on. But there we go, that's puzzle 5 even done. Code 5 it says here. I really shouldn't be able to forget what code it is. Let's have a look at code 6, the last one I'm going to do in this video. So, let's turn the page. Again, not a lot of text. Well, there's a lot of letters, but not a lot of written text. We must coordinate. No censorship. He will devour us all. And it's not really clear what to do here. You've got a laptop that's open with a grid of letters, but what's quite really helpful to spot here is this little plus at the bottom left. And what this is supposed to motivate is that this can be considered a bit like a graph. Instead of coordinate, you can in particular consider this as coordinate. We must coordinate. It doesn't quite make sense, does it? But if you imagine coordinating these and treating them as coordinates, then perhaps we can use this to coordinate into the grid in some way. Now, the thing about any coordinate is it has to have an across and an up. So this would have to be, perhaps we're coordinating this string, because it says we must coordinate colon, it's pointing at no censorship, he will devour us all. Let's start with this. So we've got 2 letters, that's going to be could be a pair of coordinates, N, O, CE, NS, OR, SH, IP. Okay, so it's credible. So NO, would that be across N or across O and up N? Let's try across N. So an O on the way up? Yes, at the top. What if you went across O? There's an O here, but is there an N on the way up? No. That's assuming that we're correct, that this plus is giving us the axes of a coordination system, a coordinate system even. So if we went N across, where's N? It's here. So another N, there's another N here, okay. So helpfully there's 2 options for that. What if we went up O? There's no at the top. So we've got a C here, and we've got a C here. Oh, either way we get a C for that. Let's put C here. And then censorship, C, E. So you might say, how do I know to do this? And the answer is, well, you don't know how to do this. There's no absolute proof that this is the right thing to do at all. All you can do with a puzzle like this is think of things that might be being implied and meant by the puzzle and try them and see if they work. And they may work sometimes, other times they won't work. But by writing down the letters that you are working out via whatever you've come up with as your method of solving it, you find out if you're correct, and then you try something else if it isn't right. And in that respect, it's a bit like an escape room, because you don't know what to do immediately. But once you work out how to do it, you can then make progress. And it's important that you get some feedback you're on the right path, which is why the puzzles in this book spell things out. So let's start with a C, because we know we're going to have a C. It could be CC, but I know it's going to be a word, so it's unlikely I'm taking both of them. I'll probably just take in one. So anyway, C, E. There's only one C this time, and is there more than one E? No. So we've got C in this column, an E on this row, so we've got an R. Okay, so CR is quite a nice start for a word, isn't it? And we've got N, S. We've got 2 N's, and the third, and well, I guess it's the 4th column, depends on how you count it over here. And is there an S? Here. So N, S would be this O, and if it was this N, and if it's this N, it's also an O. So that's quite reassuring, because again, we think it's just, we've got the same letter, it doesn't matter which N we picked. Then we've got O, R, we've got an O here, that's a Q. Got an O here, it's quite an old font, isn't it? It's an OCR font, I think. And here's R. So let's go across on the R row. It's quite hard to do, this would be actually easier. It's an N. Easier to do this with a ruler or something probably. So we've got cron. We're looking at 2 more letters possibly. So S, comma H. So here's an S. And where is H? It's the 5th one up. If you include in the bottom row, so we've got a U. Oh, so this doesn't look like an English word, but maybe it's some. It says that there are names that would have been known to Aristotle, I think, at the start of the book. In other words, Greek names. Does it say that here? Familiar to Plato. Well, same sort of thing. Let's go back to the puzzle. So I've just done SH, which was the U. It would have helped to circle it. And then IP. So where's IP here? Where's P? Oh, it's one up. Here, S. So we've got Cronus, who was, I've just looked this up, the supreme god until dethroned by Zeus under Greek mythology. So there's some sort of story type reference in here, I think. I think this is correct. Let's type in Cronus and see. Congratulations, your divine coordination, interesting, has helped you to crack code 6, and I guess he will devour us all as referring to Cronus. So there we go. We have solved 6 codes in this book, 404, and hopefully you'll be able to join me in a future video when I will eventually get round to solving the rest of the codes in this book, because apart from the 56 codes that are actually labelled in the book, and I think there are 56, if I remember correctly, it goes to the 56 at the back, then after that, can't turn the page, bit of a picture, get rid of that thing, it's overlaying the screen. There is a message. We've relayed at least 60 messages. Did you find them all? So there's not just 56. There's quite a few more. In fact, I think there's, I can't remember exactly, there's like 7 or so that aren't directly clued in the book. But there we go, that's 404. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you'll join me in a future video. Until one of those, take care and goodbye.